Hello friend, this is the summary of the book called Ikigai by Héctor García. I hope you will enjoy it. What if having a long life, having a sense of purpose, and being very happy all came from the same place? The Japanese idea of Ikigai is explained in these chapters. Ikigai is your reason for living, your life goal, and your source of long life. Find your Ikigai and follow a few simple health tips, and you'll learn how to live a long, full, and happy life. You'll also learn what flow is and why it's so important. You'll also find out how karaoke keeps you young and why your best asset is your friends. Do you want to live a long, healthy life that is also full? Who's not? The most centenarians in the world live on the island of Okinawa in the south of Japan. This could be the key to living longer. And the reason these islanders live so long may be summed up in one word: Ikigai. This word roughly means, your reason for living, or, what drives you to do a certain job. It can also be thought of as the place where your passions, skills, ways to make money, and what the world needs meet. Many Japanese people believe that everyone was born to fulfill their Ikigai, or destiny. But while some people find their Ikigai right away, others have to look for it for a while. If you're in this last group, it's important to keep going, because Ikigai will be what gets you out of bed in the morning in the end. Because of this, Okinawans tend to specialize and pay close attention to detail in their daily work. In an Okinawan paintbrush factory, for example, the authors met a skilled craftswoman who had spent her whole life getting better at putting each hair on a brush. At this point in her career, she could do her job with amazing skill and dexterity. Ikigai is also the key to living a long and healthy life. So, if your Ikigai is your job, you should never quit. And if your Ikigai is a hobby that makes you happy and gives you meaning, don't ever stop doing it. Okinawans follow these rules, which is why they live long and healthy lives. Even if they have to retire early, they find ways to stay busy, like gardening or doing other work in their communities. The benefits of this promise are easy to see. Heart disease and dementia are very rare among Okinawans who live to be 100 years old, according to medical studies. In the next chapter, you'll find out how an active mind makes it possible to live a long life. Any doctor will tell you that you need a healthy mind and body to age gracefully. In real life, though, the mind is often ignored. It's a shame that people often ignore their mental health, because it's just as important to living a long life as physical health. In fact, a lack of mental work weakens your neural connections in the same way that not moving around is bad for your body and emotions. This is why it's important to exercise your brain in different ways. Shlomo Bresnitz, a neuroscientist, says that older people lose brain flexibility because they get stuck in patterns and routines and don't want to try new things. So, how can you work out your brain? Well, it can be pretty easy. Any game that challenges your mind, like chess or cards, will do the trick. But if you want to go further, the best thing you can do for your brain is to get out of the house, meet new people, and interact with them. Avoiding stress is another way to live longer. In fact, a number of scientific studies have shown that stress can cause people to age faster than they should. This is because stress causes the body and mind to wear out faster than they should. For example, in a study done at Heidelberg University, a young doctor-to-be went through a series of difficult job interviews where he was asked to solve difficult math problems. Then, a sample of his blood showed that the stress of the interview had caused antibodies to be released, as if he had been infected by a virus or bacteria. If there had been such a threat, this immune response would have been necessary to get rid of it. However, antibodies also attack healthy cells, which makes the body age faster than it should. So, the best way to live a long life is to get rid of stress, which you can do in a number of fun ways. Just try practicing mindfulness, doing yoga, or taking the time to work out. All of these things will help you calm down and pay more attention to your body and mind. In the end, though, these are just long-term, preventive steps. In the next chapter, you'll find out what to do if you're so stressed out that you're about to lose it. Anxiety, burnout, and stress are all becoming more common in modern life, and it's hard to avoid them. Japan is no different. and it turns out that the way people work there can be very intense. Still, Japan has something that other countries don't. Morita therapy is a way to help you deal with stress. Shoma Morita, who is a psychotherapist and Buddhist, came up with this method. It was first made to help people with long-term anxiety, obsessions, and compulsions. But it's also great for relieving stress and burnout. Morita therapy is the opposite of some Western therapies, which tend to focus on using thoughts to change feelings and actions, such as through positive thinking. In Morita therapy, people are told to notice and accept their feelings instead of trying to change them. From there, they do certain things to make new feelings, which slowly take the place of the old ones. There are 4 parts to the therapy. The first part is a time for rest. The person stays in bed for about a week, with nothing to do. She isn't allowed to watch TV, have visitors, or even talk to other people. A psychotherapist is the only person she gets to see and talk to. During this stage, the person just watches how her feelings come and go. In the second phase, the patient starts doing things over and over again as part of her daily life. Some of these are writing in a journal, going for walks, and doing breathing exercises. In the third stage, these activities get more physical and creative, with things like painting and cutting wood. This set of activities makes the patient feel different emotions. She starts to feel joy, calmness, and interest. And finally, after these 3 stages are done, the patient is ready for the 4th stage, going back into the world with a new sense of calm and purpose. Getting a lot of rest and time away from distractions is good for your health, but at some point, you'll need to find something to concentrate on. This is where Ikigai comes back into play, and you'll learn how in the next chapter. Imagine you are skiing down a beautiful powdery slope. Skiing is your favorite thing in the world, and you're in a state of complete, blissful, focused engagement. You feel like you could keep doing this for the rest of your life, and you might even want to. The good news is that doing something like this could, in fact, make you live longer. Getting into this state of flow often can help you stay young. In this sense, the psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi came up with the term, flow, in the 1970s. It's a way to talk about being so happy and focused that you can't think about anything else, not even time. Finding activities that make you feel this way will make you enjoy life more, which will make you live longer. That's why these experiences should be given more importance than hedonistic ones, like overeating, using drugs, or watching TV to pass the time, which people often do when they're bored. Flow is even shared by people of different cultures and backgrounds. So, people who play chess, work as engineers, or paint can all be in a state of flow. But it's also good for your mind because it keeps you focused on one thing for a long time. In an ideal world, your Ikigai, or main job, will often put you in a state of flow. If it doesn't, make sure your hobbies do. So, if you want to get into a state of flow, you need to make sure the level of difficulty is just right. After all, if you pick a task that's too easy, you'll get bored and distracted, which will make it harder for you to reach flow. On the other hand, if your activity is too hard, you'll struggle, get stressed out, and give up. So, just start where you are. For example, if you want to learn a new language, start at a level that is easy but still a little hard. Or, if you're bored with a skill you already have, like computer programming, you can push the limits of what you know, maybe by learning a new coding language. You can find flow again by doing something you like in a new and exciting way. You already know some things you can do to live longer, but in the end, the only people who really know how to live a long life are those who are doing it. So, let's look at what the Okinawans who have lived to be 100 have to say. The first thing these old people say is that you should worry as little as possible and always greet people with a smile and an open heart, even strangers. People say that if you do this, you'll keep a lot of friends and your grandchildren will want to visit you all the time. Having this much going on in your life will help you stay young. Aside from that, they warn that worrying too much about things you can't change just adds stress. For example, worrying that you're not good enough or that your career hasn't been successful enough is a waste of time. Instead, the wise centenarians say to enjoy what you already have. People say that if you do, you'll probably find out you have a lot more than you thought. But getting rid of worry isn't the only thing centenarians say you should do to live a long life. Another is to form good habits. For example, getting up early is mostly a matter of habit. After a few years of doing it, it will just happen automatically. Aside from that, getting up early will give you more quiet time in the morning to drink tea, clean your house, and take care of your garden. The last one is especially important, because Okinawan centenarians think that growing and cooking their own food is one of the main reasons they live so long. This makes a lot of sense, since eating food straight from the garden is very healthy. Lastly, enjoying and keeping your friendships may be the most important thing you can do to live a long life. Okinawans talk to their neighbors every day because they know this is important. Since Japan became known as the country with the longest life expectancy, people have been interested in their food for years. Even so, people in Okinawa province live even longer. Makoto Suzuki, a heart specialist at Ryukyus University in Okinawa, started studying the Okinawan diet in the 1970s to find out why. He found out the following. First of all, the Okinawan diet has a wide range of foods. In fact, people who live on this island regularly eat up to 206 different foods, including a number of herbs and spices. For example, they eat 5 different kinds of fruits and vegetables every day. They like to make sure they're getting enough variety by making sure all the colors of the rainbow are on their plates. The fact that the Okinawan diet is pretty simple might be because of all these different foods. Grains like rice or noodles are the main part of the diet, and salt and sugar are used only in small amounts. In fact, Okinawans eat 60% less sugar and 50% less salt than other Japanese people, who already eat a diet that is pretty healthy by global standards. So, variety is important, but so are small portions. Okinawans say that to follow this second rule, you should stop eating when you're about 80% full, which means you should still be a little bit hungry. Even the Japanese have a word for this idea. It's called harahachi bu, and some easy ways to get there are to skip dessert or eat less. Okinawans usually serve their food on small plates, with rice, vegetables, miso soup, and a small snack like edamame beans. This helps them do the second thing. They know instinctively that eating less is good for you, and modern science has proven it. You can lower the amount of a protein called insulin-like growth factor 1 by eating less. When the body has too much of this protein, cells age faster. Because of this, eating less is directly linked to living longer. In the past few years, superfoods have become popular all over the world. This has changed the way people think about food as medicine. There are some Japanese versions of these foods that you shouldn't miss. The first is green tea, which is a refreshing drink full of antioxidants. Recent studies have shown that this popular drink in Okinawa is a powerful way to help people live longer. Green tea is not fermented like some other teas are. Instead, it is air-dried and then left that way. Because of this, it keeps its active ingredients, like antioxidants, and has been shown to lower bad cholesterol, control blood sugar levels, improve circulation, and even protect against infection. Okinawans add jasmine to their green tea to make this miracle drink even more powerful. This herb is good for the heart and boosts the immune system. But not everyone likes green tea. If you'd rather try something different, give white tea a try. It has even more antioxidants than green tea. But is there a superfood from Okinawa that you can actually eat? You don't have to look any further than shikawasa, an Okinawan citrus fruit that is also a favorite. This traditional Japanese fruit has juice that is so acidic that it needs to be diluted before it can be eaten. It has a lot of nobiltine, which is a plant compound that is especially high in antioxidants. Even though lemons and oranges have a small amount of nobiltine, shikawasa has 40 times as much as an orange. Because of this, the fruit is very popular in Okinawa, where it is used in many traditional dishes and even cakes. So, it might be hard for you to get your hands on this rare Japanese citrus. Don't worry about it if so. Just try other citrus fruits or go for broccoli, salmon, strawberries, or apricots, all of which are high in antioxidants. Have you ever met older people who still seem to be full of life? Well, it's likely that they've been physically active all their lives and that's why they've lived so long. In fact, movement is important for living a long and happy life, and it doesn't have to be too intense. Looking at the people of Okinawa shows that simple, regular movement is much more important than sports and fitness. For example, older Okinawans walk around their neighborhoods, work in their gardens, and even sing on stage at karaoke bars. The important thing about what they do isn't how hard they work, but that they never stop. But if you don't want to believe them, think about what modern science says. Gavin Bradley, a health expert, says that sitting is bad for your health. He found that after just 30 minutes of sitting in a chair, the metabolism slows down. This makes it harder for fat to be digested in a healthy way. Also, when you sit for more than 2 hours, your good cholesterol level goes down. The good news is that you only need to get up for 5 minutes every half hour to counteract these effects. However, most office workers don't do this. Okinawans also do exercise that is more planned out. It's called radio taiso, and Okinawans and Japanese people in general do it as a basic way to warm up. It is often done in large groups in the morning or all day long. It's very common, and some schools, businesses, and homes for older people on Okinawa do these exercises together every morning. At first, the routine was even played on the radio, which is why its name includes the word radio. But most people now watch or do their daily workouts online or on TV. The exercises themselves are straightforward and easy to do. For example, one movement is to lift your arms above your head and then move them in a circle down to your sides. The goal is to warm up the joints and muscles of the arms and shoulders in a gentle way. To live a long, happy, and healthy life, you need to eat well and exercise a lot. But there's more to longevity than just these simple daily habits. By giving yourself a reason to get out of bed every day, you can focus your energy and live longer. What you should do to put what you've learned to use. Enjoy the beauty of what's wrong. There is a belief in Japanese culture that only broken things, like a cracked teacup, can be truly beautiful. This idea is called wabi-sabi, and it can help you enjoy your everyday life more. So, try to give up the common desire for perfection and instead see the beauty in all of life's flaws. Because of this, you will have more energy, feel less stress, and live longer. Read on if you want to learn more. The Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo can change your life. The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up is a best-selling book that has changed people's lives in Japan, Europe, and the US. The Wall Street Journal even called Marie Kondo's KonMari method, which is based on Shinto beliefs, the cult of organizing. Kondo goes into great detail about how your living space affects every part of your life and how you can make sure that every item in it has a strong personal meaning. If you take her simple but wise advice, you can get closer to reaching your goals. That is all for now, friend. Keep learning.